There's a lot today in this Torah portion, Vayera. Um, a lot of lessons, a lot of stories, a lot of things we could glean from. I'm just going to pick one of them because there's too many to try to cover. So I'm just going to go over, I guess, the story of when Abraham is pleading with begging Hashem to spare the righteous the righteous in Sodom, right? So this kind of I guess we learn a lot of lessons from Abraham, and this is one of the lessons that we learn. Um, he was, I mean, he had faith in Hashem, but he also I guess he also had this character about wanting justice, um, and maybe he learned that from Hashem, or maybe it's just part of him. But in any case, this is something that obviously Hashem encourages, right? Because he's first Hashem said, I think earlier, should I tell my servant Abraham what I'm going to do? Kind of think, kind of giving us this idea of Hashem purposefully wanted to tell Abraham about this so that Abraham could then talk to him about it, try to beg him about change his mind, in a sense, right? Um, so it's very different, and it kind of comes to us, right? It's kind of like Abraham is showing us this example, but I think Hashem is at the same time showing Abraham's example to us, saying, this is how I want you to be. I want you to be like Abraham, There's so many aspects about Abraham that I want you to be, and this is definitely one of them. I want you to stand up for the righteous people. I want you to stand up for the people that may be treating me mistreated, and along with the wicked people who maybe they maybe deserve it, but these other people do not, right? So the people that may deserve better, I want you to stand up for them, right? Um, and of course we have um, this connection to Yeshua. I mean, when what Yeshua said, he's on the mount when he's saying the Sermon on the Mount, all the Beatitudes, and one of them was in Matthew 5:6. He said, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." And that word righteousness, obviously, it also means justice, right? It's justice, righteousness. That word um, is tzaddikim, or tzaddik, tzaddikim. I don't know that that is what he's talking about, right? For us to be righteous, or also to seek justice, right? Maybe that's also maybe why we have a lot of maybe Jewish lawyers, because they will try to seek justice, justice and righteousness, and also because they study Torah, and it kind of helps them. And so, this is something that we, might not have thought about, but this is something that we learned from Abraham, and it got passed down along, right? And we see Noah, who he didn't really plead for Hashem to like spare the earth, at least it's not recorded that he did. And so this is this difference between Abraham and Noah, right? But then we go even further on, and then we see Moshe taking it even more of a step even further, right? He wants even more justice, he also is willing to sacrifice himself to save the people too. So there's like it goes in stages, right? And you see, Noah, Abraham, and Moshe, this idea of seeking justice and trying to, to gain justice, and then maybe even going beyond and going to mercy, with on Moshe's part, right? And so, and then obviously it's in Yeshua as well, right? We see in Yeshua's example even more so, not even justice, but going on beyond into the idea of mercy, right? Things that we don't deserve. So, like I always like to do, I like to give you guys a challenge about what we can do today, right now, about applying this lesson that we've learned from Abraham about seeking justice or seeking righteousness. So, so what can we do? Okay, so the challenge is try to identify one situation or something that's happening in your community or around you that where you see there's some injustice, right? Some kind of injustice that's happening, and where people are not saying anything, they're remaining silent, they're not really doing anything, and so to you take one. No, I'm talking to myself. You take one step to try to correct that injustice. It could be like writing to local people around the governor or whoever, the local authorities around you, or maybe organizing some type of meeting, community meeting. Even if you see injustice within like even your own community or wherever you're seeing this injustice. And then also or maybe the people that are being treated unjustly, to go help them, try to help them or strengthen them, wherever you see this happening. And I'm sure there's things happening around us. Sometimes it's maybe hard to find, or it might not happen now, but it might come in the future. There might not be any injustice that's happening around you right now, but there will be a time that it will be happening. You will get into a situation where you see that this is not right, this is not just, and so maybe you might not be able to take action this week or this, even this month, but sometime it will come, because it does come. We've encountered it multiple times in our lives, and when you see that injustice happening, it might not be happening to you, but it is happening to somebody, right, that that's around you. So when that happens, think about Abraham. Think about how you can be like Abraham and more than just plead with Hashem, but try to make things right. Try to obviously pray to Hashem, but then also try to make things right. And so that's the lesson I want to learn, so that we can remember that we are Benei Avraham. We are sons of Abraham, sons and daughters of Abraham, and we want to, in this regard, we want to live up to his legacy of seeking justice seeking justice and wanting the righteous to not die with the wicked. Wanting to make things right. So that's my lesson. Shabbat shalom. And who's next? Ezra?